The investigation just getting started after a plane crashed into Beaver Lake in the Montenay area this afternoon. It left the pilot dead. 5 News reporter Laura Castleman has been covering this story since it happened this afternoon. She's now in the studio with the latest.
That's right. The call came in just after 1:30 that a plane had gone down in the lake. That call came from the pilot of the plane himself.
People near the lake say they were shocked to hear what happened.
I was working in the front yard and heard a loud noise.
Chris Brooks lives on the other side of the lake and heard the plane.
And then we were trying to figure out where they were coming from because it all echoes down the lake. They ended up across the lake at the airfield, grass runway across the lake, and came into that area, and I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Lieutenant Shannon Jenkins with the Benton County Sheriff's Office says the victim was 61-year-old Kim Sweet.
Our dive team was called out and we were able to do a recovery.
Lieutenant Jenkins says anytime a plane crashes, the Federal Aviation Administration is going to investigate.
The aircraft will be recovered, it'll be turned over to the FFA, and they will begin their investigation.
With residents around the water used to planes flying low, Brooks says a crash like this is rare.
I've seen so many aircraft coming through there day in, day out. It's scary for the homeowners around here because they fly so low and they're flying right over our rooftops and everything most of the time, but never seen any issues.
Where the pilot was coming from and where he was going has not been released. That's what the FAA and the NTSB will determine, along with a cause of the crash. Laura Castleman, 5 News.
All right, Laura, thanks. We'll, of course, continue following developments on the investigation into this crash and have the latest updates as they come into the newsroom on the 5 News app and our website at 5newsonline.com. We're also following a developing situation in Lavaca where the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office is searching for a suspect after a bank robbery this afternoon. Happened at the First National Bank branch located on West Main Street there in Lavaca. Law enforcement could still be seen searching the area late this afternoon. Local schools were placed on lockdown as a precaution. Investigators released these surveillance photos showing the suspect. Robbery was reported to police just before 3 this afternoon. If you have any information as to who this is or anything about the robbery itself, you're asked to contact the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office. Arkansas State Police are investigating after a shooting last night that involved police officers in Rogers that left one person hurt. A neighbor shared Ring doorbell video with us showing police entering the neighborhood. Investigators say it happened at the intersection of South Point Avenue and Southeast Street. They say no police officers were hurt. We spoke with one resident who says a bullet hit his vehicle.
It's actually my stepdaughter's. We bought it for her. So this is crazy. This is scary. Something that we need to pay attention to.
We're still working to learn more details about the person who was shot and the situation that led up to the shooting. We'll keep you posted with any new information from state police as this investigation moves forward. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton answering questions under oath from the House Oversight Committee today. The deposition was in connection with her and former President Clinton's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Erica Brown has the latest on today's testimony.
It was disappointing that they refused to hold a public hearing.
A motorcade carrying former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton arrived Thursday morning for her closed-door deposition in Chappaqua, New York, where lawmakers grilled her about convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell.
No one's accusing at this moment the Clintons of any wrongdoing. They're going to have due process, but we have a lot of questions.
House Oversight Committee Chair James Comer laid out some of those questions.
How was he able to surround himself with some of the most powerful men in the world? Was he an asset for our government or any other government?
Clinton spoke to reporters after her hours-long closed-door testimony.
I never met Jeffrey Epstein, never had any connection or communication with him. I knew Ghislaine Maxwell casually as an acquaintance.
Former President Bill Clinton is expected to testify Friday, and Chairman Comer denied the Clintons' request to conduct the questioning in public, but said he may consider a public hearing at a later time. Comer also said the committee is looking into an NPR report that an Epstein survivor's allegations accusing Trump of sexual misconduct are missing from the Justice Department's document release.
We want to understand right now where the missing FBI files are.
Both President Trump and former President Clinton deny any criminal wrongdoing and have not been charged in connection with the late disgraced financier. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Former President Clinton's congressional deposition is scheduled to start tomorrow morning. Lawmakers are expected to ask him questions about Epstein's name appearing multiple times on the White House visitor log while he was president, and more than a dozen flights that Clinton took on Epstein's plane. Another executive stepping down today over ties to Epstein. Brenda announced he was stepping down as CEO of the World Economic Forum after documents showed he had meetings with Epstein and exchanged several emails after Epstein was a registered sex offender. Brenda denies that he knew of Epstein's criminal activity at the time and says he is stepping down to allow the group to continue its work without any distractions. Walmart has recalled 3 types of cottage cheese sold under the Great Value brand name. Arkansas is among more than 24 states where items were sold. The FDA says the manufacturer issued a voluntary recall after it was discovered the products may not have been pasteurized properly. The products were sold between Tuesday, February 17th and Friday, February 20th. There are no reports of illnesses or hospitalizations connected to the recall. Walmart says it will issue a full refund for the products in question. The Arkansas Racing Commission has cleared the way for sports betting companies, DraftKings and FanDuel, to operate in Arkansas. DraftKings will partner with Southland Casino out of West Memphis, and FanDuel will partner with Oaklawn in Hot Springs. They will serve as vendors for new sports betting apps run by the Arkansas-based casinos, who say the national brands will lead to more wagers and tax revenue.
In a matter of days, maybe a couple of weeks, if you are using one of those 2 apps, then you'll soon see an entirely new framework. I mean, it'll be ultimately, you'll see FanDuel technology or DraftKings technology.
A representative with Saracen Casino in Pine Bluff spoke against the plan today, arguing that Arkansas gambling should be handled by companies in the state. Now, the commission did not see anything in the agreements that violate state law. They voted unanimously to approve them.